So, who are the big movers and shakers at the opening of free agency day? We're going to talk about all that and more on the next episode of Headspace Hockey. Hello, welcome everybody. Special edition of Headspace Hockey. It's just me today. I don't know if anybody's expecting that. If you saw by the thumbnail, uh, obviously we're a little. This is not our usual scheduled show, and so it was just me who's available today. But that's okay. I know this is a lot to talk about. Yeah, I just wanted to give a fresh, raw reaction to everything that was going on today with the opening of free agency day. Obviously, it's a big day for Canada. Happy Canada Day to anybody who celebrates. Um, it's out. I would say it's a very near and dear day to me. Um, yeah, I'm always thankful that my parents immigrated from Philippines and decided to make their life here in Canada. It's something I couldn't imagine not having. That's for sure. It's Canada. Vancouver has always been home for me. Not to denigrate anywhere else, but like I said, I couldn't imagine it. All right, so today, we're probably not going to go too long unless the activity warrants it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about everything that went on in terms of the Canucks. Obviously, this is a very Canucks-focused show. And then we're gonna open up the phone lines. We're gonna do a little bit of Headspace Hotline. We're gonna drop the link in the chat. Feel free to jump in and give us your takes. Yeah, we definitely welcome it. Yeah, as you could tell, I am not used to doing this on my own. This is something that is very foreign to me. I generally I need that feedback. So in any case, I'm glad to have you guys here with me. Let's jump right into Canucks free agency in a minute. Oh, I don't even have my slideshow ready. Boy, oh boy. Okay. So, if we could go to the Wayback Machine, because this is our first show since the draft, actually, which happened on last Friday. You had a bit of our live reaction from Rogers Arena, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody, the Canucks got their man, the son of Manny Malhotra, Caleb, 3rd pick overall. I think there was a thought that Ivar Stenberg could fall to 3, but obviously what we saw with the day leading with Ottawa trading the 9th overall pick to San Jose gave them that luxury to pick Ivar Stenberg guilt-free and get a defenseman later in the draft, and that's the way it went. Gavin McKenna 1, Ivar Stenberg 2, and Caleb Malhotra at 3, which I think is still a good pick. Maybe not what I would have wanted, but still a good pick nonetheless. Further down in the draft, we had Adam Novotny, 24th overall. In the second round, we got Brooks Rogowski, the big Rogowski. A Norwegian player, Nicholas Aram Olsen from Team Hyphen. We got a goalie, Dmitry Evchenko. Yaroslav Briskalov in the 4th round. Overager Connor Davis in the 5th round. Lucien Bernat in the 6th round. Samuel Eriksson in the 6th round. And that is your 2026 draft class. It was a lot of forwards and one goalie, but as you could see, that they prioritized a lot of size. There was definitely players that they left on the board that may or may not have had more upside, but obviously, you can't coach a guy into being over 6 feet tall, and that was basically who who they all brought into development camp the following Monday, with the exception of I believe it was Evchenko or Brizgalov because of some visa issue. In any case, they all came. They all got to experience the city and meet the coaching staff as well as guest coaches, etc., etc. Now, in the days following, we saw GM Ryan Johnson's first official move as GM, sending out Niels Höglander to Nashville in exchange for a third-round pick, which was prior belonged to Colorado. This is a case where I think the guy never got any footing. It's a very tough go when he came right at 2021, and in those 5 years we've had the 6 coaches: Travis Green, Bruce Boudreau, Rick Tocchet, Adam Foote, and Emma Hamilton. Okay, that's 5. But that's a lot, and you never know where you stand with a coach when they're being changed that often. Could he have been more? Could he have been a better player? Was he just held back? I don't know. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. In any case, off he went, more or less to create a roster spot on the team, which subsequently went to Brendan Gallagher. The worst kept secret in the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks traded for Brendan Gallagher from the Montreal Canadiens. This is a guy who's coming in at the tail end of his career. He knows the market very well. He definitely competes very hard. And don't let the fact that he got scratched a lot in the playoffs this last spring fool you. I believe he's definitely got something left in the tank. And yeah, he's coming in more for the leadership than anything else, and I'm here for it. Yeah, look at that guy. That's the guy you want fighting in the trenches. Okay, so we had a couple players who were up for qualifying offers, who the Canucks simply said, "See you later" on. Yeah, not much to say about these guys. They were not really needle movers, and obviously, like I said, the Canucks were in a position where they needed the roster spots. Also, they said goodbye to. Okay, so we're moving on to July 1st. They said goodbye to free agent center Teddy Bluger, who subsequently signed with Toronto. They said goodbye to Curtis Douglas, who subsequently went to Seattle. Good for him. And as the free agency opened this morning, Ryan Johnson wasted little time. He picked up Paul Cotter, who is more or less going to be for organizational depth, but he can play a lot of different roles. You might know him from the DJ meme in New Jersey. For his third tour of duty, we got Luke Shen, aka Shen Daddy. This is a guy who, much like Brendan Gallagher, is coming in at the very end of his career, but is going to provide a lot of leadership and culture. Big buzzword right now in the Canucks organization, culture. We also brought in Akil Thompson and Trey Fix Wolansky. Hands up if you ever heard of this guy. No? Okay. Moving along. There wasn't a lot in terms of a quality of free agents, so we definitely saw a lot more in terms of trading as well. And so that's what we saw here with Ryan Johnson dealing Marcus Pettersson to the New York Rangers in exchange for a conditional 2030 first rounder. I like this trade a lot because we recouped that first round pick that we gave up to get Marcus Pettersson. It is top 10 protected, like I said, meaning that if it activates where the New York Rangers have to use their pick in 2030, it's going to push to 2031 unprotected. And so there's a lot of potential there. And almost immediately after announcing this, we announced the signing of Jamie Alexiak, a big bruising defenseman. He's played for Dallas Stars, played for Seattle Kraken. This is a case where there was a lot of finessing that had to happen from Ryan Johnson. It was 2 deals that were hit where he had to line up, and one probably wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the other. So good on Ryan Johnson for that one. In other news, you got Darren Unlersh going to the San Jose Sharks in exchange for Shakir Mukhamadullin. Fun fact, Shakir Mukhamadullin was drafted by the New Jersey Devils using a pick that used to belong to the Vancouver Canucks via the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, it's traveled a lot around the NHL already. And then you've got the signing of Sergei Bobrovsky, probably one of the biggest signings of the day. Because yeah, there just really wasn't a lot in terms of quality uh, on the free agency side. Uh, Another trade he had, New York dealing Vincent Trocheck to the Utah Mammoth, RIP to JT Miller's best friend. And then you got some other deals of varying degrees, Boone Jenner signing in Washington, as well as a lot of other depth pieces. I would say that this year, there was a flurry of deals that happened around the league. And it was definitely a lot of quantity over quality. More aging guys, third liners, fourth liners, second pair guys, third pair D. Nothing that really you would say changed any franchise. Maybe you could make an argument for Sergei Bobrovsky and Frederik Andersen, but they're Frederik Andersen, who just signed in Edmonton. But those are more or less desperation moves for two teams that were in need of goaltending, and they haven't really had it. Okay, so this is usually the part of the show where I say, G, what's your take? So in this situation, I turn to all of you. Just want to say what's up to you in the chat. And yeah, let me know in the chat what you think of everything that happened today. Do you think the Canucks did all right by their moves? I know that they were never going to go big fish hunting, but I think you can see what the Canucks are trying to do in terms of just setting the foundation and turn the page on what's been a tumultuous locker room. And so, yeah. Here's a comment from our first subscriber, number one mod, HSM Fangirl. Kane might get a PTO with another team's training camp. It's looking that way. I don't know that he necessarily did enough to get teams to bite. And as the hours are counting down today, it's not looking like he's going to be the day one signing. If you guys recall from the trade deadline, we all thought he was going to move. We were begging for this to happen, but there really weren't any takers. We've got Tillo in the chat. Any team that gets him is going to be like, oh, okay, he's joking. Okay, we got Alfred in the chat. Isn't it crazy? Markstrom returning to Florida. Yeah, it's kind of wild to think that a guy that you were traded for, and by that I mean Jacob Markstrom and Roberto Luongo. I'm sure Roberto Luongo, who's the head of goaltending in the Florida Panthers organization, was the one who pitched hard for Jacob Markstrom. What he can do at this point in his career, who knows? When he was a Vancouver Canuck, he was very much a high volume goalie, and it was one of those cases where the more shots he faced, the better he got. And also, it seemed like he faced a lot of shots because of the system that was in front of him, for better or for worse. So we'll see how he can do with behind Paul Maurice and the defense that they have lined up there in Florida. What else do we have? What's up, Hugh? Good to see you in the chat. I will be in Abbotsford to watch the 3-on-3 training of the young guys. Was that today? I thought that was I thought that might have been today. I did see that Russell from Nothing Is Perfect was live in the arena. He was sitting with Connor Cahill, who's also in the chat, as well as Canucksland. So yeah, it was a bit of grainy video, but it was good to see, and it was good to catch up with all of you guys. There's a lot of Happy Canada Day in the chat. Hello, Bobby Ray. Happy Canada Day to you. What else do we got? Hey, Hockey from Home. Good to see you. It's nice that we do these early streams so that you can catch up with us. Like I said, we got Connor Cahill in the chat. Absolutely thrilled Shenner is coming back. So I was I was pondering about players who had played not stints as a player plus in management. Who were players that played for teams 3 separate times? Specifically for the Canucks, I found out that it was Nolan Baumgartner of all people, also a defenseman. If you guys can remember that back that far. Also, another one was David Braun, who played for St. Louis 3 different times, including the time that they won the Cup in 2019. I guess the guy just really loves St. Louis. And what else we got here? Connor Cahill's saying, I'm beyond amazed he was happy to return when he could have said no. He wouldn't have been guaranteed any time under his belt. I think you're talking about Luke Shen. I did hear his hit on Sportsnet 650, and I think it was a case of the guy lives in Kelowna in the off season, and he played junior in Kelowna as well. And it's a case of a guy who has already won his cups. He's already been all over the league, and he knows what the cards are here in Vancouver. He knows he's not coming here to get us over the edge and even possibly make the playoffs. He was very explicit about the fact he used the words where we are, meaning where the team is in the rebuild, which is good. I love that transparency, and he knows that he's coming here to be a guiding voice. I wouldn't be surprised if when he's done, he's going to retire and then immediately become a part of player development here in Vancouver, which I would like to see. Okay, what else do we have here? This is from Alfred. It's nice to see that the Canucks are adding size to the signings and drafting, something we lacked for a long time, with the exception of Zadorov, Ian Cole, Joshua, et cetera. Yeah, I agree. Too many times over the last 2 seasons, we were what you would call an easy team to play against. I do fear that in regards to drafting, that we did leave upside on the table. Good offensive knack is not something that you can just really develop at the NHL level. Neither is size. And I think you need a bit of both. In terms of the Canucks, for a long time, that's not been our team identity. I don't know if you guys buy into that. You know, like you've seen with teams like Philadelphia and Boston, basically since the beginning of their existence, they've always identified as that big bruising team. I don't know. Drop in the chat what you think the Vancouver Canucks identity is. It seems that especially in our cup winning years, we've always had that hot goalie, skilled European player, a plucky, hardworking small forward, and a steady defenseman. I don't know if you can call that an identity, but you can see kind of through lines with all of our Stanley Cup run teams. Okay, here we got more jokes from Tillo. 2031st helps us out. Potential offer sheets, absolutely not. It's something I want us to stay clear of. I heard a lot of talk about let's package up 4 first rounders for Connor Bedard. In theory, you know, you could use those four first rounders on your own team and only net one guy who's as good as Connor Bedard, if that. But I don't think we're in a position to just throw away picks that way. This one from HSM Fangirl. Would you like to see PWHL's jailbreak rule in the NHL? It's fun. It's fun to be sure. Yeah, it definitely changes the mentality of the penalty killers when they're on the ice and the way they're coached. Um, would it work with the guys with the players like it? I think it's something that the players have to agree to. Um, uh, yeah, generally, what happens with those types of rule changes, it's something in the CBA. Usually, something that players complain about. Like, for example, if you know anything about the trapezoid behind the net, it was a case where Martin Brodeur, people felt that he had an unfair, or he gave the Devils an unfair advantage with his puck skills, um, and it was very unique to him, and so that's why they created um, that rule with the trapezoid. Speaking of Martin Brodeur, he's also the reason why uh, Alex Ovechkin was not allowed to use a mirror visor. He complained, and he had pull in the league, and he said, "I need to be able to see the shooter's eyes," and that was it. It was only a few seasons with Alex Ovechkin wearing mirror visor, and then they did away with him. I feel like I'm getting a little bit off topic, but like I said, I'm glad to hang out with you guys. Um, Doing a little bit of a review with the Canucks specific signings. Um, yeah, I think that the players we've brought in, they're not gonna like specifically Brandon Gallagher and Luke Shen. These are not guys who are going to um, put up a bunch of points. They have that ability maybe from time to time. I think I mentioned in another chat that I think the over under for Brandon Gallagher is going to be 14.5 goals. So something over that or something under that. But it doesn't matter. You I think they're being brought in to bring back joy to the locker room. There's a lot of weeks where it seemed like these guys were moping around, and you know, in the privileged position that they're in, you just can't have that because it seeps into everything, especially when it's coming from the older guys. So hopefully they can come in and give the rub, and um, yeah, just create that base, create that environment that we want to see moving forward. Uh, this one from Bobby Ray asking, when are we going to get a new captain for the Vancouver Canucks? My answer to that one is I don't think you need a captain right now. There, as I mentioned with the two big signings, or the big trade and the big signing that we had over this last week, Brandon Gallagher and Luke Shen are coming in to almost to be de facto captains. I don't think they're going to give them a C, but they're going to do and bring a lot of the things that you would see and want from a captain. Yeah, you definitely you don't, in the situation that the Canucks are in, where there's just not a lot in the cupboard. You don't necessarily need to go with a captain, and these guys are going to take a lot from not only the veterans that they brought in, but from their coach and their management. Obviously, Henrik Sedin being a former captain, and Manny Malhotra in his playing days was known as almost like the captain without a C. What else do we have here? I'm not, this one from Connor Cahill. I'm not 100% sold on the idea, as having to speak to the media every single game would be plain annoying for him. I'm not sure who you're talking about. He's talking about, yeah, Phil Peronic. Yeah, there is a thought there that maybe your captain doesn't have to be the quote unquote media quote guy. I'm sure that guys like Luke Shen and Jamie Alexiak and Brandon Gallagher are going to probably do a lot of media, especially in the losses. The spotlight burns very bright, especially in Canadian markets, and it's a lot to put on these young guys. We have these 4 on the blue line, especially, who are under 24, 23, 24, and they're just trying to find their game, and that's what they need to focus on right now. So um, hopefully the guys that they brought in can bear that load. Okay. So what I want to do now is I would like to open up the lines. So if anybody would like to come on and speak their piece, I'm going to drop the link in the chat and we can come on and chop it up for a bit. I have this being an early stream. I have carved out a bit of time so that we can do that. And yeah, we can talk about anything you want. You can talk about the most recent draft. We can talk about the signings and the trades that the Canucks have pulled off. We can talk about any other team. Yeah, we're pretty open. So I'm just going to drop that in the chat right now, and then away we'll go. So here we go. Link is right there. I'll pin that message. And there are only 9 of you in the chat. I know that I got on the horn. I was trying to get as many people as I can to come and just chat with us on camera. But I know that especially this being a weekday, a holiday, people are pretty busy. But what I did bring is a couple packs of Dollarama blind bags. I don't know if you guys ever seen these. I'm really into these because yeah, they have all sorts of stuff in here. And yeah, you can get some good finds once in a while. There is, I'll show you a couple here. There's a base pack Sidney Crosby. Yeah, it's pretty good. Upper Deck. This one here I got in a pack, which was not only Kirk McLean, but Patrick Sundstrom, who was the player that Kirk McLean was traded for. So, and that was in the very same pack. And another great one here. The man. You can see it right there. Trevor Linden. So while we wait, I think we'll open a pack or two. Okay. Pack number 1. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever collected these as a kid. I was not really a hockey fan as a kid. I was more apt to maybe take these and glue them into my spokes. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay. Real quick. Most of these blind bags will have a couple packs like this. It's like 3 to 5 cards in it. And then it will have either penny sleeves, which are those cheap little plastic sleeves that you can get for hockey cards, protective sleeves, and it's usually 100 in a pack, or they'll give you a pack of 5 top loaders. In the very rare cases, as you can see here, it says may contain original sealed packs. And that's what turned up in the first bag I opened. So I think we'll do that one last, because that's pretty crazy. We'll do the base packs here. They usually come in themes. So this one is a little 5-card set. I'll let you guys see it first, actually. Okay. It's Andrew Kopp, Detroit version. And then next we have Ron Setter, one of the many setters. Here we have, this is a pretty good one. It's one of the holographic packs or holographic cards. got Work. I don't know what year this card actually came out. Oh, it's double-sided too. It's Ray Bork with, don't barf when you hear this name, Eric Messier. Here we got Michael Mongeau. Don't know who that is. And Frank Vetrano, the Florida Panthers version. This is the guy that was in a lot of trade talks. I remember a couple years ago, they wanted him to play wing with Pettersson. So that's that. I'll set those aside. Definitely going to keep those for now. Next, we have the 90s theme pack. And they are see-through, so I am seeing the first card. Okay. And Bobby, I see you backstage. I'm just going to open these packs and then we'll bring you on. Okay. Sergei Nemchinov. Tell me if that rings a bell. 2 Sergei Nemchinovs. What are the chances? Yeah. Another setter. Wow. I wonder sometimes if these are secondhand cards. This is Pat Elenuk, and this is special Calder Trophy Award winning card. Interesting. And Belfour. Yeah. I know. We've got Fangirl in chat. She's asked me before if I've ever gotten any Wayne Gretzky's, and I actually have. Not any ones that had value, but I have had Wayne Gretzky cards in some of these packs. Okay, last pack, and then we'll get Bobby on camera. So Bobby, get ready. Have your takes ready, okay? First card, Marc-Andre Fleury with the Vegas Golden Knights. Next card, Joonas Korpisalo. I believe he just got traded out of Boston today. But the team that he went to is escaping my mind. Drop in the chat if you know it. And then the last card here, Elias Sorokin. Ooh, holographic version. Pretty good. Okay. Thanks for letting me do that. One second. Where is it, honey? Okay. Yes, honey. Okay. There you go. If you didn't know, I'm in my daughter's room. So I get it's out there. No. Sorry, 1 second, guys. All right, let's get ready for our first guest. This first guest is a frequent visitor in Headspace Hockey, as well as in some other streams I've seen her in. Hailing all the way from the Yukon is Bobby Ray. Bobby Ray, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No camera today?
No.
Okay, that's okay. So, yeah, what did you think of today's opening day of free agency?
When we traded Brugger, and I was pretty shocked.
Yeah, is that one of your favorite players?
Yeah, and I had to go decorate my wall with those new players.
Yeah, that's usually the way she goes. Are you Are you hopeful for the next season coming up here for the Canucks?
Yeah, I've been telling all my friends I miss hockey so bad right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while, unfortunately, but it always seems like, especially here in Vancouver, it's top of mind all year round. Fun fact: today, July 1st, is 50% of the year,
Yeah.
and it
Did we
feels like
have an
we've
update? Like what number Luke Shin will be?
most likely Luke Shen will probably wear number 2 because he's worn it in the past for the Canucks.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else you got for us?
Like, I think like Luke Shen was saying on his YouTube, he wants to win a cup for us this year.
Well, if he makes that happen this year, they'll probably build a statue for him. But I don't know. I probably have a better chance of getting struck by lightning 3 times. Yeah. Okay. Well, Bobby, I appreciate you coming on. And yeah, happy Canada
Are you
Day.
gonna do that live stream like that free on free? Because I can't get on TV.
Live stream, I don't know. Maybe I think someone who's there has to do it. Like today, Russell was at the arena watching them practice. I don't know. It might be on the Canucks website. You'll have to take a look.
Okay, like, can you send him my email for me? Because I don't
Sure.
have his email.
If I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you, Swervin.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye now. Okay. Cool. Well, first guest of my solo stream. Let me know in the chat how you guys think I'm doing. Our next guest is one of my favorite guys from across the pond. Is a big fan of Liam Ogren. I got to chat with him today on the Nothing is Perfect stream, which he helped run today, actually. That is Connor Cahill, number 92.
Hi, hello there. How are you,
How you doing? Hey, what's the crack?
Good. I was sucking diesel today in Abbotsford, my brother. You keeping well?
I'm well. So you had the fortune of actually being in house and being in person, seeing prospects.
Absolutely, 100%.
Who stood out for you?
Like Russell basically made it very clear. He posted at least a day ago. He was going to be in Abbotsford. Would anyone like to join? And I could see it, and it was a no-brainer. Come on. How often do we get to actually meet in person? Because usually, whenever we're talking, we're usually doing, conversations like this from cameras and everything. So I was kind of contemplating, is anyone else going to be here? I was thinking of you, man. I was like, where are you, Swervin? Come on.
I mean, well, I had work today, and it's Abbotsford. Oh yeah, well, it's well, I don't know if you know, I work in restaurants, so it's a little bit different for us, where it's like these big service days, whether it's a stat holiday or not. Like
That's brutal, man. That really sucks. So even on that, and surely is that the case for every public holiday that you could be working still?
Well, if you have a government job, you definitely have the day off, and for some businesses it's elective. So yeah.
No, that's brutal, man. Well, it sucks for you.
Yeah,
that sucks.
but the other thing too is I'm here in downtown Vancouver, and it's Abbotsford Langley, where they were doing Dev Camp.
Yeah, it was in Abbotsford they were playing.
Yeah, that's a long way to go.
Oh, come on, man. That's a bad excuse, because
if I had just happened to be out there,
I live in East Van. I live in East Van, so it took me like 50 to 55 minutes getting out there, but it was no issue to me, because one thing I enjoyed about it was the drive down. It was amazing.
Fair enough. Okay, so in terms of players, who stood out for you the most?
I look, man. I got to be honest. It's Luke Shen for me every single day. I was talking about it with a workmate of mine a few days or so ago. I really felt like Vancouver really missed having him on the team. Definitely, he was a name I was really disappointed was moved on when it was I think it was around the time when I think Boudreaux was gone and Taka came in. And I thought he would have really fit into the system really well initially in Taka's first season. But then when he was moved on, I was like, come on. Because definitely one thing for sure, Vancouver definitely needs grit in the defense. And I think definitely having Luke back, especially in a leadership type role, helping the young guys get settled in, I think is huge. You know, I mean, the fact that he's even here is a big surprise to me, because the fact that, you know, he'd already been here twice. You know, I don't think you hear of many players going to a team 3 times in a career season in a career. So I don't know. He must really love something about what's being built here that he decided to come back, because I think he was playing for Winnipeg, if I recall, and you know, he could have opted to stay there if he wanted to, but no, he's right here. Sorry, I know I know I've been pretty much dominating talking about him, but certainly I do like. I actually think the signing of Alexiak, I think, is a pretty good deal. I think is it 2 years by two? Is it 5 by 2? I think it is. That's a pretty good
Oh
deal
no,
in my eyes.
I think it's only worth 5 million for the whole deal. So I believe it's at 2.5.
Oh, 2 by 2.5. I thought it was 2 by 5 in total.
Yeah, that would be a little too rich. But yeah, no, he should be good. More of a stopgap than anything. I think at his age, like, you're not looking at him as any sort of long-term solution. But they did want to get some muscle on the back end, because yeah, we need to have be able to have a safe working environment for the young guys.
You do, absolutely. Like, that's exactly what Vancouver needed was a few senior guys, and obviously Gallagher as well. That's a big bonus as well. You know, again, he's very much because they're in their early to mid 30s. That was exactly what I feel Vancouver really needed, especially since they were moving on the likes of Luger and Hoglander and anyone who had been in the team for like the past three or four seasons, give or take, and the ones who have gone from last season. I'm like, Vancouver still needs these guys, because if they're in a rebuilding process, someone needs to be on the team that has leadership in such a way that, you know, we'll find out eventually who the next captain's going to be. Like, I was with Russell today, and he basically, you know, he's really got the mat on for Braden Coots being a captain at some stage when he's fully developed.
Sorry,
and
just real quick. In the chat, Alfred mentioned that the contract for Jamie Alexiak is actually 5 times 2. So yeah, I've been corrected. Sorry, go on.
On your own stream, that's brutal, man.
Hey, you got to cop to it. And one more thing, fun fact: when Luke Shen was here the second time, and then he got traded at the deadline for a pick to Toronto, we actually ended up using that pick, and it became Sawyer Minio, who is one of the more bright spots on our young defense. He became a teammate of Braden Coots in junior. So he could be something someday. You never know. So that, the juice could be worth the squeeze in terms of trading away Luke Shen when we did.
Yeah, it might be. But I don't know actually if Minio ever got to play on the team that won the Calder Cup, actually, because he would have been in Abbotsford for a time too, wouldn't he?
He was with, no, not that year. He was still in junior.
Oh, he was in junior.
He did make the jump to the team this past year, I believe.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, fair enough. Maybe. What I really
wanted to ask you, because you were, like I said, you were in the unique position of being in the building. At development camp, who stood out for you the most?
So Russ and I were, you know, as you would imagine, we very much had our eyes on Caleb. You know, because they were basically practicing shooting on the goalies, and also they were doing their skating drills. You know, basically, you know, I don't know what you call them, where they're basically going to skate around the cones and, you know, having to work on their angles, their maneuverability, and definitely Caleb was one of those that stood out. And we also spent a fair amount of time watching Coots, and also a new guy, Adam Novotny as well. He's got a wicked wrister, so he does. You know, we were watching him in front of net,
I heard.
and he put in a really few nice shots past the young goaltenders. I wish I could remember. Sadly, I can't remember. I've forgotten their names, but like they were really they seem to be new guys too. I think Medvedev was one of them who was in net today. Yeah, I really like them in action as well.
Mhm. Yeah, they did had Medvedev there. I think they might have had Evchenko, who was the recent draft pick. So yeah, that's good. It's good to hear. So would you say that Caleb was worth the hype so far?
Do you know what? I'm definitely on board with him now than I was at the beginning because look, I have to confess I didn't see a whole lot of him in action. I just didn't know because I mean he was number 5. He was 5 draft overall. I thought. I mean, I would love if we went for the one who was drafted number 3 initially. However, like but definitely seeing him in action, and he's I think he's a tall lad. I think like all of the prospects who were there today, I'd say they were in around the 6'1" mark, and I definitely saw him being I think the tallest out of the group that he was training with, that he was practicing with, along with and even he seemed to make the coaches look a bit small too, which was a big surprise to me.
Well, yeah, when you have full gear on, the coaches don't. They're definitely gonna look pretty shrunken. So you know what I mean.
Oh wait, I just realized. I want to mention one other player that we had that Russ and I were watching that he seemed to be really good. Was God, I'm so sorry, man. I'm trying to remember, I'm trying really hard to remember. There was one other player. I think maybe if you ask Russ, he might tell you. He was running 51 at the camp today. There were one or two that I must have missed. I hadn't seen or heard of, but like they were practicing and they were really really good as well.
Okay, hopefully they do stream the 3-on-3 scrimmage because take a look.
Yeah, maybe when they do it, maybe I might point it out. But like I said, there were one or two other guys definitely that, like I said, honestly, they're skating, they're shooting, their finesse, man, honestly, it was perfect.
Cool. Okay, well, Connor, we're a little bit up against our time because I have a few other guests in the backstage, but I do appreciate you coming on and providing some insights from development camp. Yeah. So we'll see you off. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, happy Canada Day too to you guys, and right. Yeah, and so far we'll see how things go leading up to the off season.
For sure. Talk to you, my friend.
Talk to you. Bye.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, little bit of boots on the ground at the development camp, which is it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that it's not all doom and gloom. The fact that we picked Caleb Malhotra. Okay. Before I bring on our next guest, I do have some late breaking news via Rain in the chat. But we'll just pull up the announcement if they have it on Twitter. I still call it Twitter, and I refuse to call it X. I'll just highlight the chat there if you guys can see it. And then I'll see if it's Twitter official, because it's good to do I have slow internet? Tampa Bay. See, a lot of these trades break online, and then we don't actually see them official. I personally, I'm always waiting for the official announcement because you never know. Sometimes these things can go go sideways. Okay, so we still don't have it yet. We have goodbye Bjorkstrand, goodbye Corey Perry. But Rain, I believe you. If you read it somewhere, I do believe you. Elfrin says, confirmed by Pierre LeBrun from TSN. Okay, so speaking of Elfrin, that is going to be our next guest. I see he's wearing his full Canadian garb. Let's bring him on right away. Elfrin, aka different Irvin. A long time no talk.
I know, eh?
I
How
like
are
I
you
like the
doing?
kit, by the way. I'm okay.
Thank you.
It's a weird one for me tonight. I'm a bit out of sorts because, yeah, like I said, I usually have my partner here with me, and we kind of use each other as a sounding board. I don't like just talking into a camera by myself like this, so it's good.
Mhm.
I'm really glad that you guys hopped on for the Headspace Hotline. Okay, so first day of free agency. Not a lot expected of us. I would say, where would you, if you could give a grade to Ryan Johnson and the movies he made, where would you put him?
I would grade it a B actually. I really like that he added size for once. And then he brings in guys like Luke Shen for leadership in the locker room. That's definitely needed there. So, and then other names like Jamie Oleksiak. Is he a defenseman?
He's a D man. I believe he's
Yeah,
a left shot D man.
something like that. Yeah. So,
You may be familiar with his sister Penny.
no, but
She
the name just clicks. So,
yeah, she's I can't remember what her sport is. She was in the Olympics.
okay.
Canadians, yeah, I believe she won a gold medal as well. So
Oh, well,
yeah,
there you go.
should be good.
Yeah.
Not that matters. So yeah, just to be so room for improvement.
Well, I mean, it's just day one, right? So there could be
Yeah.
more down the road. So there we go.
I know that there's this idea that we want something desperately to happen, but in terms of like the four main guys, it's PD, DeBrusque, Besser, Hronik. There's not really any rush.
Not much there
Like
left. So
I think you could go into training camp with those guys, and yeah, but I feel for them in terms of, their your name is out there, and I'm sure they've heard, or they've probably been sat down and talked to, and they've been told like, hey, this is what we would like to do, and we're trying to find a place for you to go. And once you know that you're not really wanted on a team, it's
yeah,
not a great feeling, right?
Kind of feels awkward, especially for Jake DeBrusque. You know how he said like he doesn't want to be part of a team that's rebuilding, wants to be part of a winning team. So definitely, it's pushing the pressure on RJ to get a trade done for Jake DeBrusque. So
Yeah, well, that's
feels
on
pretty
him,
awkward.
right?
What's that?
Yeah, I said that's on him. He said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but yeah, I kind of feel bad for Jake DeBrusque because we brought him in to help our team win more games, like add some scoring, but that really didn't happen. But I mean, he can score on the power play, but what
And
where else can he score?
on top of that, he was the second choice Jake that offseason. Do you remember?
Oh,
Do you remember they really won against Lillard? If you can remember that.
yeah. But oh well,
Um,
I guess we could say that we got the wrong Jake. Well, I guess.
any thoughts on what they may or may not do in the coming weeks?
Well, I'm gonna stay open to see what they do.
What would you like to see?
Honestly, I mean, considering that we came in 32nd, I don't really have that much expectations, but at least, make a move that really makes sense for the organization moving forward in terms of their rebuild. So, I mean, bring in maybe one or two more veterans into the locker room to help with leadership, to help develop the young guys that we have here. So I think that would be good moving forward for the team.
Cool. Okay. Hey, real quick, can you show us your hat? Is that a Hockey Night in Canada hat?
Yes, it is, sir. Hockey Night in Canada.
Do you have any thoughts on the ending of Hockey Night in Canada?
It's definitely a cultural loss. Um, Growing up, watching Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday night is I always felt that was a Canadian tradition here, like bringing my dad and my brother to watch hockey together as a family. Even
Mm,
sometimes my mom would come and watch hockey with us as well. So
yeah,
it's really like not just a Canadian culture, but more like a family culture as well. So it definitely is a cultural loss for sure. For sure.
sad to see for sure.
Yeah, it's all about this, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
of course, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, anytime. Uh, any parting words?
Peace. Bye.
All right, happy Canada Day, man. Okay, that was Skytrain Alfred. Good to see that guy. I met that guy in person a couple times, and it's definitely good people. He's one of my favorite people in the YouTube Canucks community. Okay, we are at 1 hour. I think I would like to open one more pack, if that's okay. Do I have a thumbs up from the person backstage? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. We'll do this one, and then we're gonna open that vintage sealed pack as well. Wow. Okay. So, as I said, this is what you'll usually see in a Dollarama blind bag. Protective sleeves, and so what they do is if you try to do the feelsies on the blind bag, you'll feel this, thinking that it could be this, and definitely it definitely works in terms of tricking the buyer. Okay, let's start with the goalie pack first, because this one from Blue JM. Good to see you. How much was the packet? It was $3. So yeah, it's just a little fun little thing. It could be a gamble. Once in a while, you get a good gem in there. I did once get a rookie Yarmy Yager card. So take from that what you will. Okay, ready? First card. UC Staros. The big yellow pads. It's nice. Okay, next. Is that Washington Great, Olaf Kolzig. That's for some of you. Oh, okay. Here we go. Another flower card. Marc-Andre Fleury. Interesting. It's definitely a likable guy. In terms of good guys who are in the NHL. Okay. Next up, we'll do the base pack. Okay. I haven't seen who's the first card. Ready? Wow. The best defenseman in the NHL. Yeah, I said it. Come at me, Quinn. Quitter. Okay, what else we got? This is a vintage Lester Patrick award card for any fans of the trophy. Actually, they don't. It's not called the Lester Patrick anymore. They changed it. It's now the Ted Lindsay Award. So it's the award that is the best player voted on by their peers. So yeah, a little bit of a history there for you. Next up, we got Al Iafrate. If you didn't know, this guy was known to have one of the hardest shots of all time. He would always join the All-Star skills contest and consistently shot over 100 miles an hour. Next up, Aaron Broughton. Not really. I'm not familiar with who that is. but he was old enough that he played for the original Colorado team, which is the Rockies, which subsequently became the Devils. Love that jersey, by the way, the red and green Christmas jersey. And last one is Erasmus Ristolainen. Interesting. Another base pack. Got one pack here. A 2000s theme. First card is Maxim Afinogenov. I don't know if you know who this guy is. He's wearing the old Buffalo Slug jersey. Maxim Afinogenov, he didn't really do the whole lot in the league, but if you ever had him on the EA Sports NHL games, he's killer. Next up, another Ed Belfour power play card, special edition. Okay, so this is like just trying to get you to subscribe to some NHL magazine. Much to say there. And Randy McKay, we hardly knew ye. Okay. That's it for the base packs. Let's get into the vintage. Original sealed. What do we have? So this is like, the idea here is that it is actually from 1990. It's never been opened. So potentially you could get something really valuable here. Who knows? Okay, so I haven't seen it. First card. Former Canuck, Jeff Courtnall. That is from 1990 when he was with the Washington Capitals. Next up, for great Tom Barrasso. I believe he was their starter when they won their first Stanley Cup. Oh wow, look at this. Claude Lemieux, rest in peace. One of the only guys to win back-to-back Stanley Cups with two different teams. As well as I think he won the Conn Smythe with New Jersey at one point. Gordy Roberts, any relation to Gary Roberts? Question mark. While I'm revealing these cards, you guys can go ahead and Google if they're valuable or not. So, because I'm definitely not going to do it. I'm busy trying to run the stream. Okay, next up, Paul Ranheim. Nope, not ringing a bell. Here we got Troy Murray, former number 19 of Chicago. Before there was Jonathan Toews. John Druce. Okay. Interesting. This one is Drake Berehowski. Interesting. That's a pretty nice uniform, actually. Next up, we got this pack has a lot of cards, by the way. Carl, I don't want to pronounce that improperly. I feel like I'm going to say a bad word. Next up, Scott Sissons. Probably no relation to Colton Sissons. Oh, look at this. The holdout, Eric Lindros. This is him with the, I think it's the Windsor Spitfires. No, Oshawa Generals. He was with the Oshawa Generals in junior. He was a guy who was really big for his age and therefore never learned to skate with his head up and paid for it pretty dearly. Okay, Fangirl, you're still in here. There you have it. No trickery. There it is. The great one. Fangirl, be in there? Yes, no? Maybe so. This is a 1990 card. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna see if this is worth anything. Okay, next card is gonna be a painful one if you are a Canucks fan. Cam Neely. We were just talking about Cam Neely on the Nothing is Perfect stream. This guy was drafted first round by the Canucks, and I think he had in his first few seasons, like, he was a 30 to 40 point guy. Imagine if the Canucks had a 18, 19, 20-year-old who put up 40 points in the NHL and they shipped him off. Yeah. And Boston is still benefiting from that trade to this day. Next up, Brian Bellows. The name is a bit familiar, but I don't know much about the player, to be truth be told. And wow, this is an amazing pack. I gotta say, everything we've pulled out of there: Eric Lindros, Claude Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, that's great. This is crazy. Here's the last card. Woo! Bringing the heat. Yeah. So I'm gonna look on eBay to see what all of these are worth, because obviously they're in prime mint condition, and all that could be had for $3. Okay. As we ramble on, yeah, let's bring on another guest, because I see them backstage. He's been waiting very, very, very patiently. This is a friend of the show. He is now tying the record for most appearances with on Headspace Hockey, tied with Clay with 3. Let's bring him on. Big Brain Rain.
That's scary that I'm tied with Clay. That's horrifying.
You're good. You're good. Okay.
Oh, where do we begin?
What do you got? To me, it was a not an impactful free agency, but an eventful one.
Was never going to be one where the Canucks won, or quote unquote win. I mean, other than, because I tend to think of winning free agency as you're solving a problem or fixing an issue. And I guess they kind of did that in terms of, they beef up their bottom 6 and, get some defensive depth. I was a little bummed out they didn't get Kevin Stenlund. That was the one where I was like, come on, RJ, make that happen.
Okay, yeah, we were texting about this, and I knew you were on that train. If Kirby was here, he'd definitely know all about Kevin Stenlund. What is it about the guy? What's his player profile?
Well, Canucks need a right-hand center. That is the biggest appeal. It's the biggest appeal, and I think, I think you would have risked overpaying, but I just like the guy. Hardworking, big, right-handed centerman. He's not going to put up the points, though. I think that maybe what drove them away from not pursuing that. But I don't know. I just enjoy what Kevin Stenlund brings. But I like Shen, and I never thought Paul Cotter. That's not a name I thought. It's like, okay, but not a bad pickup.
It seems like the big beefy right-handed fourth line center is kind of becoming the premium. I'm not sure who they're trying to copy, but obviously saw. Like the deal Michael McCarron got.
But that's insane. That is insane.
Yeah, free agency is always wacky.
Well, I've said before that July 1st is the Halloween of hockey, where we watch GMs spend money like chickens with their heads cut off. And it really maximizes the stupidity of some of these GMs.
You get to say words like Vinny Desharnais money.
Oh my god. Yeah, 4 years at 4.2. It's like, what were you smoking? Now,
what games were you watching? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, some of these deals that were signed, and I got a few losers for who I think, quote unquote, lost free agency. I think San Jose is the most perplexing. That one I really don't understand. Well, okay, I should say this. I don't mind the players. I don't understand the contracts though. Like Mason Marchment at 5 years, $7 million at 6.75, $7 million. That is way too much for a guy who's never scored more than 22 goals. I mean, Brock Besser at least has a 40-goal year under his belt. But Mason Marchment's never come anywhere close to that. The Jacob Trouba one. Holy jeez. 4 years at 8.4. The guy got a raise, and he was a throw-in for the Ducks when the Rangers traded him.
My takeaway from free agency is that it seems like I don't know. GMs are acting like skating is not that important.
Yeah, it's it's an accessory. Like, who cares? It's an accessory. It's not a priority.
Like,
Who cares about that?
I don't know. The guys that are playing around these guys who are basically signing their pension. And I'm talking about like guys like Corey Perry, guys like Radko Gudas.
Yeah.
Their teammates better skate because
Oh.
I don't think
By
these
the way,
guys will.
By the way, I did not have Edmonton being able to trade Darnell Nurse with no retention. That's
Wow.
bravo, Stan Bowman.
Kudos there.
Bravo for about 5 minutes. Yeah, bravo for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
what we did.
So they obviously revamped their blue line a lot, leading up to the draft, and then it was like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Like, why did they grab Darnell Nurse? I don't know. Maybe they think that he's going to be a new player in a new environment. I'm not.
I don't
sold on
know,
it.
but that's god. They better hope that works. And by the way, I still think Kiefer Sherwood's going to end up being a disappointment in San Jose. But anyways, that's a topic for another day.
Well, he already kind of is.
Oh yeah.
Considering they brought him in to pull them into the playoffs, and
well, I've said before with Kiefer Sherwood in Vancouver, it's the same as thrift store shopping for a name brand item. You love it to begin with, but part of the reason you love it but you love it more because he wasn't full price. And I think the Sharks are going to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, and we will see how those second rounders that turn out. Which one was the 1 week we used?
41st. That's the Nicholas
Aaron
yes.
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, whatever his name is.
Good one.
Okay, so simply speaking of the Canucks, I'll ask you the same thing I asked Alfred. If you could give a letter grade on the day, so including the trades.
I'll give it an A-.
Really?
I'll give it an A-.
Show us your work.
Because what exactly were we expecting the Canucks to do? The expectations were already low to begin with, and I think we talked about this earlier. We talked before the show about Marcus Pettersson and how Canuck fans might be a bit hypocritical when it comes to Marcus Pettersson, because the same people who thought that Marcus Pettersson was complete trash while he was in Vancouver were the same ones hyping up about how other teams should pay a first-round pick for him. And I just think, well, which one is it? Is he trash or is he worth a first-round pick? And it's the same with Jake DeBrusk. The guy, if the guy's only effective for the power play and can't score 5-on-5, which, by the way, we knew for 7 years that's what he was in Boston. What did you think you were getting when he came to Vancouver? But now, is he worth a first-round pick? Well, we didn't get traded at the draft, so.
Yeah, I would almost argue that DeBrusk is exactly as that. He came exactly as advertised.
Oh, he came exactly as advertised. I would 100% agree with that. It's just that people's expectations when DeBrusk came in. First of all, you are correct. He is the second choice Jake, or the reject Jake. But he came exactly as advertised. Mr. Consistently inconsistent. There's a reason Boston never committed long term to him. There's a reason Boston never only give him bridge deals. There's a reason he wanted out of there at one point, which people forget about, but he asked for a trade out of Boston. He was healthy scratch during his tenure there at times. So, the guy came exactly as advertised. And I think at this point, people know what they're going to get themselves into if they do decide to acquire him. But also, for the thing about being a power play specialist, what happens when you aren't on the power play? You do have to be effective when you don't have a power play, because you only score about 20% of the time anyways, if that. So.
But I think if you label him as that's your job, and he does it pretty consistently, which I would argue that he did this past season.
Yeah.
As outscoring the likes of Leon Draisaitl in power play goals, which is if you told me to guess that, I would have never.
Yeah.
It's got some value, maybe at least a late first from a contending team, or
if a first was there, the trade would have done already.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, it would have been. And I said the same thing with Connor Garland. I never thought the guy could get a first-round pick, because if that offer was there, they would have taken it already. And not for nothing, I was proven right on that. So
it's always going to be a tough go for left wingers and streaky at that. Like,
Yep,
like I'm talking about any.
Jason Robertson's learned that the hard way.
Oh yeah. Okay, so speaking of my fellow Filipino, Jason Robertson, we've seen that play out. I think we mentioned on last week when you were on that he's just way overplaying his hand.
He is overplaying it big time.
And do you see that as a function of what I call the player empowerment era? PEE?
Yes.
The P?
Yep. My theory is that he wants the Kirill Kaprizov contract, which Kaprizov's not even worth what he's getting paid. Let's call a spade here, or as my aunt would say, let's call a spade a crap shovel. I think he wants the Kaprizov contract. That's what he's looking for. Or that's what his agent is telling him that he's worth. The problem though is that the Kaprizov contract isn't out there for him because Minnesota is completely screwed without Kaprizov. That's why that contract was there for him. That contract's not there for Robertson, however, because Dallas has way more depth than Minnesota does. They also have Mikko Rantanen, who they also have at only 12. So, is Robertson that much better than Mikko Rantanen to begin with? I don't think so. And so to go from 12 to
he's never
17,
proven that he is.
No.
He's a good scorer, but
we mentioned last week though he was left off the Olympic team.
Yeah.
And ironically, Team USA, if they don't win gold, they look like idiots for not bringing on Jason Robertson.
Yeah,
but they look like geniuses because they won.
And the margin was razor thin,
Yep.
especially when it seemed like they essentially took JT Miller over Robertson,
or Cole Caulfield.
That too, him too, yeah.
Yeah. I still can't believe that three-way, the supposed three-way that would have gone down. So it would have been Seattle would have gotten Robertson, Matthew Knies would have gone to Dallas, and Toronto would have gotten the seventh overall pick if that three-way had gone through.
Do you think that this day really changed any team profoundly?
No.
I mean, you could even include this week. Maybe you could argue for Washington with the moves that they made, but it seems like they're just shoring up the wings to.
It feels like they're being placeholders for if Ovi decides he's done. That's kind of how this feels.
Yeah.
It's being felt as placeholders. Like I guess they're the closest to being a winner. But I thought this last year though, where I didn't think anybody necessarily won quote unquote, because even Vegas getting Mitch Marner, like everybody said Vegas was a winner because they got the biggest prize fish in Mitch Marner, except they forgot to acknowledge the fact that there was a giant hole on the blue line and Alex Pietrangelo, which they didn't fill until acquiring Rasmus Andersson, which, by the way, he has been a total disaster in Vegas, and they doubled down on it by giving him a giant 7-year, $58.5 million extension or whatever, 59.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, ooh, you ain't a number one.
Okay. Well, we're a little bit up against it for time. If you wouldn't mind, do you want to stay on for the next guest?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. This next guest is a really important guy in terms of the channel Headspace Hockey. Let's bring him on.
Yo, what's up? Good job on your solo show today.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, we had some fun. We did free agency week in a minute, which included draft haul, and we opened some Dollarama packs. Got some pretty good ones out of the.
Did you not know it was Oshawa Generals, man?
I mean, it was either that or Windsor Spitfire.
It's Oshawa Generals, man. When you were talking about it,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's the same same team as John Tavares.
Yeah.
So,
hey, you like my new light?
I see that. You want to bring it closer? Let's take a look. We got time. I did this. I was telling everyone I did this stream early because I wanted to be able to carve out time to just shoot the shit.
Okay, so it's super. I just picked this up. This is like the coolest thing.
Where'd you get it from?
Nice.
So it's I was supposed to get a black skate one, but the guy sold it out. Like it was sold, so I couldn't get that one.
Oh, okay.
And he only had this one left. And
I
then
think
was
Doodle
like,
Hockey has the
done.
black skate one. I don't know if you've ever seen his
And it
background.
has like a little place for you to hook it somewhere.
That's
Just
cool.
comes with a USB sort of button that turns it on and off. So pretty much they just put LED stripes inside. That's why it turns on, and everything's 3D printed. So it's, yeah. I think you can find it on Etsy. So yeah, that's why.
Irv, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
It's custom
There you
made.
go.
It's just I think it's 3D printed. There's
Right,
a person that does it. I think that person might be on the island. I'm not too sure. And they do an Orca one, which I'm planning to get, and the black skate one. Because I mean, in doing videos and doing these live streams, it's nice to have like a contrast of some sort. Like I have the light that's like shining on my face,
Yeah.
but to have something warm in the back just to like radiate.
And
like,
I had to
a bit of
change my
contrast.
because I was having some real harsh backlight, and so I had to put up this on my for a little bit of backdrop.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it's not hiding any of my daughter's stuff.
That's fine.
Okay, so tell us what you've been up to today for Canada Day.
Well, I can tell you what happened like yesterday, like last night. Last night.
Is there a story?
Okay. So for all of you that are in Vancouver, or actually in Canada, if you've been watching the World Cup, the where the cauldron used to be for the Olympics, the Jack Pool Plaza, that place was just like, you can't even get in there. There are that many people for the Mexico game. And the amount of Mexican supporters, I don't want to say Mexicans, but I just want to say Mexican Team Mexico supporters, because obviously there's a lot of people in the jerseys, and no matter like skin color, race, whatever it is, everyone was there from Mexico. The place, usually it's not as packed. Like even for a Team Canada game, I think I would say the Team Canada was probably about at 80% compared if Mexico was 100%. And then going down to Granville, because I had a friend in town, going down to Granville, holy crap. Like even probably like half an hour after the game, you saw everyone in jerseys doing their line dance to celebrate. And it just packed up a full Granville. Like if you were to walk, you usually see the cop cars and everything, like the police officers and whatnot during this time. I couldn't even see the cars while I was walking down. Like it was that packed. So yeah, I think the World Cup has brought a lot of visitors into Vancouver, which I think is a good thing, even though like the tickets are like minimum like $700-800 for like nosebleeds. There's a lot of culture that is in Vancouver, like no matter what team it is.
Yeah.
So that's what was crazy about last night, and the amount of happy people on the streets. I mean, I don't know if Mexico didn't win last night, then it might be a little different. But yeah, everyone was just joyful. Everyone was, drinking with one another. I consumed a lot of tequila shots. That was. But yeah, today's about Canada. So
I was gonna say
about
you were around for the Vancouver Olympics.
Oh yeah, I had tickets to. Yeah, go ahead.
Would you say the vibe with this world event is, would you say it feels similar to the way that was?
Not last night. Last night was just epic. Like I had my runs during the Olympics. Like I was downtown a lot. I had tickets to the opening, the closing, the Canada Germany game, the Sweden against Finns. Sedin's played in that game. I had a lot of tickets, and
Hey Trev, if that's you,
or it's Kyle.
I'm pretty sure it's Trev because I was texting him earlier today.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's different in a sense because the Olympics was very lively, like pretty much every day, every single day. I mean, it's lively now in Vancouver, downtown, Granville, and all of that. But back then, it was pretty much just like we were at capacity. The amount of people you see on the SkyTrains was probably more during the Olympics, whereas for the World Cup, I think, yeah, during the days and during the local matches at BC Place, then yeah, those like there's so many different like SkyTrains coming every few minutes. Like the intervals are a lot closer, but every car is packed. So yeah, because we technically only have 7 games total, and we have the 6th one tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow,
Right.
Switzerland against God, it starts with an A. Algeria. Because Team Canada was supposed to play tomorrow if they won the group. They play Algeria.
It's almost a bit of a better. It's almost a bit of a better path the way they played out. They got that extra game in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's only because they played South Africa.
Yeah.
Right. Because if they were playing South Korea, it'd be a totally different game. But right now, like the path to it is you have Morocco instead of the Netherlands, which is going to be a very tough game on Saturday. It's at 10 a.m., I believe. So Saturday, Vancouver is going to be rocking. So if you're going downtown, if you're going to Jackpool, make sure, or even the Fan Fest in at PNE, just make sure you go like you have to get there by like 8-9 in the morning, or else you're just gonna be stuck. But yeah.
Okay, so getting back to the main topic of today's stream, opening day free agency. What do you think? I was just chatting with Rain that it felt like a lot of volume, but not really a lot of impact in terms of who went where.
Well, I mean, like we've spoken with Rain last week on our show, and he also stated that, you know, a lot of the big deals like trades happened already, or whoever got signed. And today was more of like I had my TV on this morning at 8:30 for the England game, and then it was hard going back and forth because I was a little hungover and I was just in my room. Like I wasn't sitting here in front of my computer where I have the TV and I can have it on the computer. So I was flipping back and forth on the channels and kind of watching Sportsnet and David Amber and the Edmonton guy that we don't like, that I'm not going to name, and someone else. Doesn't matter, Rain. You know what I'm talking about. I don't understand why he still has a job at Sportsnet. After what he called during, you know, that Canucks playoffs game.
Yep.
That guy should be just sat down and be like, there's a door, my friend. Anyways, I think it was that play with Tyler Myers and McDavid. Like it was the Oilers game.
Yeah.
So it was the Oilers game at the end of the
face.
game. Double whammy for McDavid and gets crossed. Gets back.
Russell plays it every night on his intro.
Yeah, he could use a lesson. He could use a lesson from Louis DeBrusque.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was on this morning, and they were just doing breakdowns and just the amount of. I mean, technically, there's probably 2 handful. Like probably yeah, just over 2 handfuls of good UFAs, talents that are there. Like the likes of Ovi, who probably is going to go back to Washington.
If he doesn't,
got,
if he doesn't retire.
Yeah.
yeah, if he doesn't retire. But like those big names, you know, are not gonna be like, I don't know, like the bigger names that move are probably
The quote unquote splashes, they're not really there anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm surprised
there's
that
nothing there.
I'm surprised that one of the names we didn't hear more about during the draft and today was Dylan Larkin. Why wasn't that a name mentioned? And I have LA as one of my losers for free agency today, given the fact that they've done nothing to replace the recently retired Anze Kopitar. They got older. They got
No.
They got no center depth, and they didn't do anything to address it. Although we've said that for the last 3 free agencies with the Los Angeles Kings about how they've been losers on July 1st, and the last 2 years they've made the playoffs still. But I wonder if this time will really ring true, given the fact that they did not replace Anze Kopitar.
Okay, and let me tell you who that person that we were not a huge fan of. He said he loved what happened. He said the signings of Perry, the addition. So they got Perry, and I can't even remember who else it was. It was another older player.
Well, Joel Edmondson was the other big signing for LA the 1 year in free agency. Which why?
Because there are 2 guys, 2 veterans. One was Corey Perry, and the other one, both were $1 million. Let me just pull it up right now. But yeah, he loved it. Apparently, he's like, "Oh, I love this for the Kings."
Oh, Matt Zuccarello.
Like, what else? Yeah, Zuccarello.
Oh, yeah. Who's like
that
38.
Zuccarello I like, but you know,
he's good in the right situation. He's not going to come in and be your savior, but
no,
he's great in shootouts.
No, but he was almost a
he's great in
point
shootouts,
game,
but they don't have
they
playoffs.
need a center. That's the problem. They need center depth. That's the biggest issue with LA, and they're not going to get any younger. So
maybe Claude Giroux will go. So
yeah, that's one of the big names that didn't happen, right?
There's word that Claude Giroux could go back to Philadelphia, but I'm wondering if I can make this any bigger. Here we go. Okay.
Dude, Zuccarello had 54 points in 59 games, and he had 9 points in 8 games in the playoffs.
Oh, that's not
Dude, this
bad.
is like an impact player. Like for $1 million,
I mean, at 38, that's impressive. Wow.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Did some finagling here. So here's
give me a second. I'm gonna grab some water.
The top of the list. So as you can see, Alex Ovechkin, we're not expecting anything to happen there. He's going to either retire or he's going to stick with the Capitals.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, the one player, one team deal is a bit of a dying breed. Who knows if we're ever going to see it again after Ovi and Crosby.
We're never going to see that kind of rivalry again. We're never going to see that.
You got Anthony Mantha, who is your classic big guy who plays really little on the perimeter.
Who can sometimes put the puck in the net. Like he's kind of like the Riley Smith of big wingers. You know, great 1 year, down the next, and then just a complete seesaw for which one you're gonna get.
And Patrick Kane is going to be basically a hired gun wherever he goes. I don't see him going back to Detroit because they're a bit of a mess right now. Claude Giroux, we mentioned Marcus Johansson.
That's another loser I have is the Red Wings. They're another loser for me.
How old is Marcus Johansson? He's on a very
37.
Yeah, just looking at this list, it's like you got old, retired, old. Michael Bunting,
I don't know why. I don't know why Kopitar's on that list because he's already announced he's retired. 35. Excuse me, 35 for Marcus Johansson.
James Van Riemsdyk. I wonder if there's going to be any takers for Evander Kane. David Perron. Yeah, boy, this free agency class was such a dog's breakfast, you know. It was almost like this. this is a good year for us to be in the tank.
Oh man, remember when John Klingberg was like the top free agent a few years ago, and his agent basically messed it up and cost him a bunch of money.
Former Cup champion Ben
Yeah,
Hutton.
because he was supposed to do very well, and
Yeah.
then
He was supposed to sign for
like
like
Dallas.
8 years. Yeah, with Dallas, he was supposed to sign for like 8 years at $7 million, and then Anaheim only got him at 1 year, and then it just completely went downhill. Just completely downhill since then.
Speaking of that, you were telling me, wasn't it you that told me Robertson's playing like a whole Klingberg thing?
I think he is
Like-
playing the John Klingberg thing, and I don't know if he heard my theory. I think he's looking for the Kaprizov deal. I think that's what he's looking for. He thinks he's worth Kirill Kaprizov is getting, or at least that's what his agent is telling him he can get.
The reports were so Seattle offered him 15, right?
Yep.
Was it 15?
15.
And he said no. Dallas.
He was more so saying no to Seattle than he was $15 million.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Because the last number out of Dallas is 12. That the Rantanen contract, that's what they're offering.
Because Dallas wants to keep it at 12 and a half.
Yeah, they want the Rantanen contract.
Yeah, and Robertson wants what he said to be with Dallas. He wants 14, and I think the reason why there is a discrepancy, why he turned down the 15 from Seattle, is actually doesn't matter. Well, A, what Irvin was saying, it's Seattle. And B, only the team who has his rights is allowed to sign him to an 8-year deal.
Yep.
So with 14 at 8, that's still better than, some other teams. Because I think, I don't know, I'll have to look into the actual CBA, but I think next year it goes down to 7. And free agents can only do 6.
Yeah, so it's after September 15th this year. They have until September 15th to sign an 8-year deal. Then there was that reported 3-way that got struck down because of Robertson turning out 8 times 15. Matthew Nyes would have gone to Dallas. Toronto would have gotten the 7th overall pick. So, but but this is what I don't get though. I wonder though, is Dallas actually serious about wanting him though? Because every time we hear a trade rumor out of Dallas, we have heard Jason Robertson's name as one of the first names that comes up in trade rumors ever since before he signed that 4-year contract back in 2022. So I wonder how
it's a wonder why.
Yeah,
they have a decent enough situation. Jamie Benn is not getting any younger.
No, he was on that free agent list.
So maybe there's an idea that Jamie Benn's still going to play another year and he just can't wait, because the opportunity and in terms of cap and not necessarily roster spot, but more so cap, it's kind of being blocked by Jamie Benn right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
then especially they play the same position too.
Gerald mentioned the discrepancy between what Dallas and Jason Robertson wants. Remember, we heard the same of Mikko Rantanen in Colorado. They were apart by $1 million and a half, and that resulted in Rantanen getting traded twice.
Yeah. Well, no, because he didn't want to stay in Carolina.
Well, no, but he also admitted he would have taken a discount to stay in Colorado, though. Which I think, what does that mean? Like, does that mean
like a loyal? It would have been like a loyalty
25 cents or 2.5 million. Like, what does that mean when you say discount? But I don't know. Something doesn't smell right when it comes to Dallas and Robertson. I just wonder how serious Dallas actually is about wanting to keep Jason Robertson.
So it could be smoke, but God, I just forgot who the Dallas GM is. But Jim Neal is very serious about signing Robertson. But I think it's the dollar and cents. And who they would have to give up in terms of allocating this amount of money.
Well, they were
to-
willing to trade Thomas Harley for Zach Werenski before that got shot down. So
Yeah, but Werenski still has 2 years left, right?
and Harley just extension just kicked in today at 10.6 or just under. So
Yeah, so I mean, if they were to send off Harley in that trade today, then Robertson would have been signed today.
Yep. But then that means they would have been paying a boatload more for Zach Werenski in 2 years.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't think he would have ended up in Dallas.
I'm glad you mentioned this,
Like, he
Rain,
wouldn't have
because you have to wonder, to be a fly on the wall, or to be in their shoes and wonder how they feel emotionally about these rumors flying around. We've seen it play out with Brock Besser. You saw him kind of mope in the last trade deadline, saying, "Wouldn't be a trade deadline if my name wasn't in it." Remember that?
to which I would say to that, it's your bosses who are telling the media that, because
Right.
anything you don't want out there, you wouldn't be telling.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is with these situations, and the other end of that situation is the Harley situation is with Werenski asking to leave Columbus, and once you ring that bell, you can't unring it, right?
You can't unring it.
To give you guys an analogy, a metaphor of the day, and so yeah, it was really funny with Columbus putting out that letter being like, he still likes us.
Oh,
don't worry, we're not trading him yet. We wanted to trade him, but we didn't, because he liked us.
It just reeks of simp. Like, if simp were a statement, that's what it reeks of.
Gerald, what do you say? Like, because if you're in Harley's shoes, you're like, you've now know that your name was in the on the trading block, and you're probably thinking like, what the hell, man?
Like they had agreed to it, and Werenski pulled the plug. It's like, ooh, that's awkward.
It's honestly tough, but I think in hockey it's a little different. I think because Irvin, you messaged me earlier today about Paul George and Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
In the NBA and how that trade felt like happened, right?
My question would be, in terms of gravity, like how big of a deal is this? Like
the reason why I bring this up is because Jaylen Brown's name has been like wiped with the floor, pretty much, in Boston. Like, he is the number 2 best player on the Boston team. Yeah, and with Jason Tatum being injured, he had to carry the team, and he was just like, let's go, like, we're gonna win this. And they ended up losing, I think it was the first round in the playoffs, first or second. Anyways, they lost to Philly. They lost to Philly in the first round, I believe. And then Philly lost to the Cavs, and then the Cavs lost to anyways, doesn't matter. So Jaylen Brown's really pissed. He has his own podcast, and he's been just ranting about everything. And he's just like, yeah, I don't want to be in a city that doesn't want me, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm bringing this up, because we're talking about Robertson and Dallas, and just, you know what, from what I hear, Dallas is like a top-notch like organization. Like, Dallas Stars are a top-notch organization. But right now they're in some sort of turmoil. Well, not really turmoil, but the club might be sold to one of the richest women that already owns the other sports teams in Texas. Like, she would own the Mavs. So this person bought out. The only reason you know this is probably because of Shark Tank, or he's very out there. God. Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban sold his shares to her. Let me just pull up her name. But yeah, because that could be another reason in terms of like the dollars and cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. By the way, Rain, do you have
So
any
it's
do you
the
have any better lighting?
Adelson
Oh, let me try
Dumont.
something.
You look like
Right.
you're on chat roulette right now.
Let me try something.
Yeah. Gee, when we started the stream, it was dusk and it was really bright. So it's one of those. Sorry, what was the name of the potential buyer?
So it was sold to the Adelson DuPont families.
Okay.
And they also own, let me just take a look here.
And by the way, Blue JM, I see your question. I'm pondering. I just want to finish this one thought with G.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. The fact is, like, Dallas could be sold, and because I think they need to move to like their arena needs an upgrade, and money's tight in order for them to get a new facility, right?
Well, especially
So
if they
these
got
dollars and
Houston,
cents-
especially if they got Houston coming in, so they might want to get on.
So they need to somehow work out their things. Like their finances right now are like it's tough for them to actually get a new arena done and all of that. So that's why there's talks of it being sold to someone else. And then also right now the dollars and cents matter for these contracts because of that reason. Even though the cap is up there, but still they have to work within the cap.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so to answer your question about how a person feels, like obviously it doesn't feel great. Like if an organization doesn't like has your name out there in rumors, like think of it as the average Joe, like for your mental health side of things. Say I know banking, but let's say I work for a bank and my bank's like, I don't like what you're doing or whatever, blah, blah, I can't pay you. But I have to keep you on the payroll. I have to keep you here. Like, especially in Canada, like they have to have grounds to actually fire you. And you pretty much basically can do a lot of things and they still won't fire you. And they keep talking about you and kind of force you to quit. How would you feel? Right? So yeah, obviously it sucks, but you just have to change your mindset and you're only there for half the year pretty much, and then you make the money. Unless you're really fed up and you'd be like, no, I demand a trade.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only thing you can do. Like, you just control yourself. You can only control things that you can control, but you can't control what others do, right?
Yeah.
So it has to also do with one of our episodes about Vancouver Canadian teams and how, the media has a lot to do with the players wanting or not wanting to be here, right? Those are sort of those external factors that you can control, right? But as long as your mindset is, I'm here to play hockey, I don't care, I want to win a cup, this is a good team, then maybe you weigh things out, and whichever side weighs out better for you, then that's the choice you take, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue JM, I see you in the chat there. What we're talking about is how relationships between the player and team can get tainted by trade rumors being bandied about. And these guys are human. We can't just say don't feel what you feel. I would hope though that players can always fall back on the fact that they're living out their dream. They're playing a kid's game at the highest possible level, which is a privilege that not a lot of people in life, you know, are getting to experience. Yes, it takes a lot. Yes, it's strenuous on the body, but at the end of the day, it's a worst day for the NHLer is probably better than any other day. Now there's another question here from Blue JM. You guys probably know my thoughts on it. It's would you like to see Harona get traded this year, getting a boatload, or would you guys prefer to keeping who's arguably the best player on the team? I've probably mentioned this too many times, but I'll let you guys have a bit of a run.
I'm on the fence with this. I'm on the fence because first of all, it's interesting when the Byron trade went down for 4th overall, the automatic assumption is, well, Hronek definitely has to be worth the 2nd overall pick, right? Well, I completely disagree with that logic. I think that's the wrong approach to it because the thought process Chicago has with Bo Byron is he's going to blossom into being the number 1 defenseman that they think that he can become. With Hronek, we have seen for the last 3 years, he maxes out as a number 2. He's not a number 1 defenseman. He maxes out as a number 2, maybe even a number 3, depending on the team. And those are 2 vastly different price tags. The price tag you're going to pay for a number 1, that's not the same price tag you're paying for a 2 or 3.
And he's perfect as a 2, actually.
He is perfect. He's the Mark Method for Erik Karlsson. He's the Devon Tays for Quinn Hughes, which, like I said to Urban, it's not by accident. It's not by accident that Devon Tays.
And I don't mean that as a put down.
No,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
What he is, though. But that's what he is, though. He is the perfect number 2. But those price tags are vastly different, and also define boatload. I don't know what that means. Like what does that mean?
I mean, we in Vancouver has seen so many times where we've been quote unquote fleeced by teams. Obviously, we hope to see the shoe on the other foot. G, what's your take on Hronek? Love him, hate him, want to see him go?
I've had a lot of these conversations with other Canucks fans in my groups, and a lot of people are saying that he wants to be here. Then why do you let him go? Like they're like,
why do you want him out so much then?
Yeah, like why do you want him to leave when you have a player that actually wants to be in Vancouver? And you have a player that can actually mentor the kids. And you have a player who, even though might be a 2, pretty much led the team, like after Quinn Hughes left. He's older. He's gone through a lot of adversity in Detroit. And coming to Vancouver, I think he had to go through the whole, PD and JT thing too. And he stayed quiet, or he just didn't like it. Right. But at the end of the day, right now, he still wants to stay. So yeah, he also has that no movement clause.
The no movement clause. Yeah.
Right. So, if it were to be the Canucks to have say, and he doesn't have a no movement clause, like an NMC, he would have been gone already.
Yeah.
By the deadline. Like that. Because my argument would have been, it was one of the signings they had today. Welcome back, Luke Schenn. Welcome back for the 3rd stint. Like this guy goes, he wanted to stay, he was let go. And then he did a lap and came back. He wants to be in Vancouver. He lives in Kelowna.
Yeah.
This is one of those guys that had culture that brings the team together. I think JT Miller was here when Luke Schenn was still playing that last season.
Yeah.
And I think I was listening to Sekerson Price or some.
They famously had a bit of a verbal argument on the ice at the end of it.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, at the game.
Not an argument. They were jawing at each other.
Yeah.
But JT smartened up. Like he listened to him and he just shut his mouth. Right? So you need these character like the RJ, Sedins, they're all harping about culture, about like leadership, about people who want to stay here and this and that. this is the exact person they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because that gels the group together, right?
Yeah.
I call them.
Oh, go
I call
ahead.
them lion. I call them lion tamers. I don't know if you guys know the story out of Colorado, but you could probably believe it. A lot of those guys are scared of Nathan McKinnon.
Oh yeah.
His aura,
He's-
how he is, and
He
physically,
is.
he's an
There's
imposing
something.
guy.
There's a chip missing with him.
But
So, yeah.
you have Captain Gabriel
That's why
Landeskog,
you have
who has the
Landeskog.
ability
Yeah.
to tease the guy and just kind of lighten the room. And by him having that dynamic, it puts everyone else at ease. So you have it just brings balance. And you definitely need those guys. I heard in the past that not only with Shen, but I heard Zadorov was that guy in the room when we had JT Miller.
Yeah.
Elstrand,
So
I see you in the chat. Good to see you. First time seeing you there. Yeah, welcome.
So the reason why I bring that up is because Hronek might not have been in that position, but I think with this new group of kids, he is that person. But obviously they brought in Luke Shen.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids respect Hronek and will listen, and I've heard multiple players through their interviews and comments say that he was like the first person to welcome them and said if they need anything, he's there and all of that.
Well, it's not by accident that we hear Hronek as the next possible captain after Quinn Hughes leaves. There's a reason. It's not by accident that he was the first name that jumped up in people's minds for, oh, this should be who the next captain is after Quinn Hughes was traded.
Yeah.
So
if the Canucks actually have this plan and Hronek is the guy, like you're not gonna name like Luke Shen captain, right?
No.
You're not gonna name like Galley, Brendan Galley.
Yeah, you're not gonna name. Yeah, no.
So the only plausible sort of choice would be Philip Hronek, or it would be Brock Besser. But I don't know if Brock Besser is that person because he has this smile on his face. He's very friendly and all that. Like it would be another Quinn Hughes.
Oh, G knows how I feel about Brock Besser and captain. I don't think he's ever been in the running.
Maybe not in the same category as Hughes, but I get what you're saying. He's not enough. He's not enough of a firm authoritarian presence.
I don't think he has the backbone.
At least that's not what comes through on camera.
I don't think he has the backbone to be captain.
So that's why Hronek sort of needs to stay if they want to have a captain. With that said, I don't think the Canucks need a captain for this rebuild right now.
No, I agree with that.
At this point.
Yeah.
Because there's like you have all these young kids that are there. Let them grow together. Let them, build some chemistry and gel. And then you have these other glue guys, these veterans like Galley and Schenner that are there to guide them to like if there's problems, they're the ones to be asked like, hey, this situation's happening. Like what, like instead of talking to Manny, you'd be like, you go to these guys and you ask them, has this happened in your career? Like, how would you deal with it? This and that. Like that's how I'm pretty sure at that point, Henrik Sedin wasn't ready to be captain, but he had Trevor Linden there. He had Trent Klatt, that is a journeyman. Like he learned from all these people, and he built something that was Henrik Sedin, right? And then Henrik Sedin brought up Bo Horvat. That's how it's supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
So right now, just to force Philip Hronek into doing something that he might not like to do or want to do. He just wants to play hockey. He wants to be supportive, a great team player, and that's it. He doesn't like talking to the media. I mean, he's improved upon that, but with that argument, does it matter if your captain is like good with media? Do you think it's as a necessity?
I think if you could get a guy to do it, that it doesn't necessarily have to be the captain, because it's just a responsibility. And why force somebody to talk who is not only uncomfortable doing it, but doesn't flat out doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I made the point last week, and I made the point last week, and I was on you can trade all your veterans for kids until you realize how the early 2010 Oilers before McDavid, that's
Yeah.
exactly what they did.
Yeah.
So be careful with trading all the vets and bring in just kids, because that too is not going to work. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. They could have gotten Ian Cole today too. From what I heard, it was down to the Canucks and the Hawks.
Oh, but Ian Cole at
And
nearly
then-
$5 million though. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
4.5, I believe.
So it's 4
Apparently-
million, and then $4 million, and then $750 in bonuses if he hits them.
Well,
But-
look at what they gave to Jamie Alexiak. Apparently, the deal for Ian Cole was going to be more rich than what he got in Chicago, but he just simply flat out chose Chicago, which is all the power to him.
That's no.
Yeah, I'm on record. I'm on record to say that, yeah, we don't necessarily automatically need to slap a C on somebody, especially with the management we have. If the players come to you and say, "How should I deal with adversity?" You point at the coach. How do you want me to care about my teammates? You point at the GM. How do you want me to practice? You point at the presidents. That's it. You know?
Yeah.
But what you're saying about Hronek kind of leads into our previous conversation of, you can kind of lean on the guy if you want, but he just flat out doesn't want to leave. It's a little bit admirable in a way. I don't think that it's a net negative if you do keep him, but just the opportunity chance of getting picks that you could possibly get. I don't know about what Blue Jay
I'm
is saying.
not necessarily surprised that there's more fans who are on board trading him, given the fact that, listen, he wasn't exactly received in the most positive of light when he first got here. And I think that when you're starting from a glass half empty perspective, it becomes that much more difficult to change people's minds. I think it worked for a bit when, he and Quinn Hughes played together and Canucks made it to the second round. But I think now that times have changed, people go back to what their first thought was, which was, well, I wasn't a fan to begin with. How much they paid to get him. So let's see if we can not correct our mistake necessarily, but let's see if we can recoup what we paid to get him, kind of thing. So
for me,
because seriously, okay, sorry, Irvin, to break you up.
Go ahead.
Axel Sundin was the pick that Detroit used that pick to get Axel Sundin. That was a player that was on my prospect list. I was like, damn, if we can get him. And Detroit actually did amazing, given the circumstance, right? So they got a younger replacement for Hronek in a sense.
Yeah.
And it just, Hronek just there was like a running joke about how many times Hronek spoke to Detroit media.
Yeah.
When he was there for his whole duration. I think it was when he first started and just before he left for Vancouver.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Pretty much.
So
the thing
to go
though,
from a guy like that
yeah,
to actually talking now, it's a huge win.
Oh,
already.
it's a huge step. It's a huge step. That's definitely for sure. But also, let's face it, Hronek was never going to be a number one in Detroit, especially given how Moritz Seider basically, when he was
Usurped
drafted
him.
at 6, and proved that, I'm actually better than what people projected me to be at. That made Hronek expendable at that point. Although I will say, is Detroit a team Vancouver should really be jealous of, given how the Yzer plan has Yzer not worked, and they traded Sebastian Cossa, who they developed for 3 years, and then they go and sign Daniel Tarasov as their goaltender replacement. I mean, not exactly.
Yeah.
Detroit's not exactly in a position to get any better.
And their last decade is going to be largely defined by not having Quinn Hughes.
Yep.
Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it Sedana that was drafted before Quinn Hughes?
So
Philip
Sedina was
Sedina.
the pick before, and then look
Right
at
before.
Barrett Hayton today getting offer sheet by New Jersey.
Was fifth.
He was 5th.
Yep.
Oh, if I'm Utah, let him walk. Let him walk at that point. They got Vinny
Get the
Trocheck now.
second. Get the second round pick.
Get the second round pick. Get the second round pick.
Okay, so at the risk of this becoming a 4-hour epic, I think we should probably wrap it up
Sorry, guys.
right about that. No, you're good. I'm happy to give you the run. Obviously,
Hey,
you always has lots to say, and then and then Gerald swooped in, last minute surprise, so that was good.
I took some of your time, but you know what? It is free agency day. It is, and you got your wish to do this here
more
at
or
Headspace,
less. Yeah, we'll go with that.
right?
No,
We
I'm
brought
kidding.
you
It's
in
fine,
last
thank
week,
you.
and it's great that you were, because I actually told Irvin that I might not do the show today. That's why in the thumbnails you just see Irvin and not me, and people are just like, "What the hell's going on?" But
I wonder if
told
people are
him,
sweating about that.
I told him I was ask Rain, because Rain
That-
will be.
That's why I put out
happy to.
two links, so that people would know, like, there's this one today, and then there's one tomorrow with Gerald. So I didn't want to create that speculation.
Oh, you'll have
Vancouver
a
media, how
good
they
chat
are.
with Harmon tomorrow. That's gonna be good to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Rain, before we go, any last words before we see you off?
Let's see. San Jose loser, LA loser, Detroit loser, Washington closest to winner, Montreal. Everybody except for Noah Dobson needs to fire their agent immediately.
Love
Like,
it.
Montreal, come on. I mean, I love that Demidov contract, but my God, Dan Millsy, what were you thinking? Why? Like, nobody on
Dude,
that
Demidov contract was amazing.
That
for
is
him.
awesome
I mean,
for Montreal, but not for Dan Milstein, though. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God. Like, Lane
Actually,
Hutz
you know
is not making $9 million. That blows my mind.
No, but it's the whole drunken sailor thing. Like, they got extra cap space today, and they were able to. There's one comment, Connor Cahill, which is what I wanted to actually ask Rain before you go. What do you think of the Leafs?
You know, first of all, they're
Pretender
clearly
or contender?
I think they're pretender. You know, I don't. The thing is that because Bobrovsky and his age, I feel like I should hate this, and especially considering that Bobrovsky originally wanted the Brad Marchand contract, which was 6 years. But for whatever reason, this is not the signing I hate. I mean, I don't hate this. I mean, Anthony Stolarz can't stay healthy; his life depended on it. And Toronto needs to show Austin Matthews, we're still winning. We're still winning. So.
And you got McKenna.
You got Gavin McKenna.
And
Jack
then you
Roslovic,
also have
Jack Roslovic, who I have to say, he's one of those players where I'm always left wanting more. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to be desired everywhere he goes. I'm just left going, I need a little more from you. We'll see if Toronto's the team. It was awkward watching Craig Berube on TSN today when they were talking about the Jack Roslovic signing. He's like, this is the guy we wanted a year ago. I don't know why we didn't get him, but this is who we wanted a year ago. It's like, ooh, that's awkward.
Dude, the Canucks should have been on that train too before he went to Edmonton. They had a chance to sign him. They weren't
he
able
was
to.
They just couldn't get over the finish
time.
line. I think he just flat out did not choose Vancouver. That's basically
Yeah.
I also don't think he's a centerman. I think he's a winger.
True, but he can play center, and come on, he could have slotted in at 2 or 3, and that would have, because he was signed right after Philip Hedl was injured.
Yeah,
to Edmonton. He went to Edmonton like the weekend after Hedl got injured.
Yeah,
and the Canucks were like, good. We got Hedl. Like, he has like 4 points in the last like 3 games. Like, we're good, and then boom, he gets smacked out.
Yeah,
for the whole year. So that's why Patrick Alvin and Jim Rutherford are no longer.
There's many other reasons, but that is certainly one of them. there's many, but there's not enough time to go through that. But I don't hate the Bob contract. I mean, I'm not surprised given that they got John Jacob running the show. So let's see how this goes. But Toronto did need to do something though. Like they did need to upgrade their goaltending, especially when they trade Joseph Woll and then Samuel Ersson went to Ottawa, and then Dennis Hillary gets traded to Tampa for Nick Paul, which. Okay. Interesting move.
Okay, one last thing before I let you go is, do you think instead of going to Toronto, if Bob chose Edmonton, they'd be a better team?
Yes.
Because Edmonton ended up
Yes.
getting
So
Levi,
they got Devin Levi and
then
Freddie
Simon
Anderson. Oh.
and they still say that
Tristan Jarry is
is
going to be
is
back.
back. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, no,
Like, they
I don't.
assume Anderson's going to be hurt for most of the season again, and then
Well,
miraculously come
remember,
back just for the
Levi
playoffs.
remember, Devin Levi spent the entire year in the American Hockey League this year. He didn't play an NHL
Yeah.
game this year. So I don't know if the thought process was maybe that's where he'll be. But they might be one of the teams who carry 3 goaltenders. I mean, I'm trying to think of the other team who was in that position. Ottawa's maybe in that position with Linus Ullmark, Sam Emerson, and Levi Marilina. That's another team who may be thinking about that. I think also the fact that, it's going to be an 84-game season starting next year. I think that may play a factor in multiple teams carrying 3 goaltenders. And also,
it's 2 extra games.
yeah, but here's the thing, though, and I said this to Irvin, but I think before the show about Connor Hellebuck. Whatever people think Winnipeg is going to get returned for him, you need to lower that price tag. You need to lower that price tag of what you think you're going to get for him, because as we've seen, first, you need 2 goaltenders to win you the Stanley Cup now, and also, you don't need a superstar goaltender to win. You just need a good goaltender to go on a long run. Especially considering that this is a goaltender who, now listen, don't start with me on he won gold for Team USA at the Olympics. Don't start with me on that. That was a stacked Team USA team. It's a lot different playing at the Olympics versus a Winnipeg team who only made it to the conference final once in his career, and that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
which is probably why he's pissed, because they ended up going for Markey, Florida, and going up for Markey instead of him. But they probably
New Jersey should try it then.
They're trying to get the whole Team USA together in Florida, so whatever.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Anyways.
Okay. All right. Well, Rain,
awesome.
Thanks for the time. Happy Canada Day. Till next time. When you break the Headspace record.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you soon, Rain. Thanks, brother.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Did you know that? Did you know what I was talking about? Rain has tied Clay for most appearances on Headspace Hockey. Yeah, good to see you, man. I wasn't sure.
Is it 3?
Yeah, 3. A big whopping 3. So yeah, that was good. We talked about a lot there. I feel like we covered a lot.
I mean, if we didn't, we're going to be covering it tomorrow anyways.
Yeah, there's even more to come. So
in less than 24 hours.
If you didn't know, if you guys didn't see the link, that's posted for tomorrow. Big guest about Harmon Dial. If you can't make it to tomorrow's live stream, be sure to leave some comments anywhere on our socials in the comment box. If there's anything you want to ask Harmon Dial, because obviously he's one of the brightest, most insightful minds in Canucks media right now, bar none. So really excited for that episode.
Yeah. And the show's actually at 9 tomorrow. For all of those that are rewatching,
I will adjust that time.
Yeah. So it is at 9. I was in talks with Harmon today, and he's excited to chat with us tomorrow. Reason why we're doing 9 is because there's a slight chance that Canucks After Dark will be. I'm weird. I'm promoting them, but they might be on at 10. So we're gonna do 9 o'clock. They'll be at 10.
Show. It's a good show.
Yeah. So this is, even though Clay doesn't like us sort of plugging our show in his shows, I'm gonna plug Canucks After Dark here. They might have a show at 10, so go look out for that. Yeah. We're just trying to make the community just more tight-knit. We're there for everyone. Like, we're not trying to take people's viewers or think that others are taking our views. We're just there so everyone that follows both of us can have a chance to watch us live when we have the show. So that is the reason why we're moving it to 9, and it's also out of respect to Clay. But yeah, come on. We're going to have a great show tomorrow. Yeah, put your comments.
Get your questions locked and loaded because
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I definitely have mine ready. So okay.
Awesome.
So then, I've been Swervin' Irvin.
Oh, wait. Before we end the show, one last thing. I have to do this.
This
Irvin,
guy's
I
like
have to
Steve
do
Jobs,
this.
guys.
No, but I have to do this.
Go ahead.
I have to give a special shout out to THPN, the Hockey Podcast Network, especially Kyle and Dylan, because we were actually having some issues. We joined the network. We weren't able to import our sort of the shows that we've done, the collection onto the network, and we were this close in not being on the network. So special shout out to Kyle for working with me to get everything set. We're here for good. So yeah, shout out to THPN and Kyle. If you guys have not looked at their stuff, they're on Instagram. There you can go to just search the hockey or THPN, the Hockey Podcast Network, and you'll be able to see all of the other partners that are in this network. You might find something that you like. There's a lot of hockey stuff there. There's stuff that's not just hockey, which is why for us doing a hockey and mental health kind of crossover is important. And you know, it's that niche, and that's why we're on the network because of that. So check them out, give them a follow. Thank you once again, Kyle and Dylan. We're happy to be with you guys.
Cool. Awesome. So, like I said, be sure to tune in tomorrow night. Our special guest will be Harmon Dial at a special time, 9 p.m. live. And of course, you can check us out on replay and podcast if you would like. Make sure to like and subscribe. For Headspace Hockey, I've been Swervin' Irvin.
And I'm Gerald K.